Tonight, a judge setting $1 million bond for the woman accused of shooting her own parents. Kristen Roth in court today on murder and assault charges. Upper Arlington police, a robber made threats about a gun. All of it went down Saturday morning at the Target on High Street. At this hour, police searching for that suspect. Jeff Reddick is live near campus for us tonight. And Jeff, this isn't the only reason students there are concerned about their safety. Breaking tonight on the northeast side of town, Columbus police are investigating after a person was seriously hurt after being hit by a car. Now, this is new video from that scene at the intersection of Stelzer and Old Country Lane. The Bucks, with the weekend off, of course, their second bye of the season. Now it's time to get back to work. OSU 8-0 on the season, 4 more games left. Clay Hall joining us to break down the end of the season here. And Clay, of course, we all know they have to wrap up the season against Penn State and that team up north the last 2 games of the season. But we can't forget about these 2 games coming up. And we could know in a matter of hours if Quentin Smith will be getting the death penalty. He's due back in a Franklin County courtroom on Monday morning. Tonight, as we wait for the final outcome of this case, the community continues to heal. New information tonight in the disappearance of a couple on a cross-country road trip. Their bodies found buried in the sand on a beach in Texas. It was 7 days ago, right here on The Football Fever, we did a segment on which star Buckeye should be pushed for the Heisman. And Jay, of course, you picked Chase Young, and that was before the game. And then Young went out there and did something almost, you know what, I'm going to say it was impossible. He made Jay look like a genius.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bold.
You know, Rodney, I'm happy you said that.
Wrestling vet Colt Cabana in Columbus tonight to host Ring of Honor Unauthorized. It's called the wildest and weirdest show of the year for Ring of Honor, and it's happening tonight at Express Live. Cabana sat down with our Good Day Columbus crew to talk about why tonight's match stands out from the rest. They were going door to door at that apartment complex trying to track him down. Tonight he's on the loose. Deputies are sounding the alarm, and this is yet another black eye for Uber when it comes to passenger safety. This indictment handed up from Franklin County prosecutors outlining the horrific details in this case. In the early morning hours of April 7th, a 24-year-old woman getting in an Uber after a night out, heading to her West Side apartment. Investigators say the driver behind the wheel, 28-year-old Abdirazak Abdullahi Aden. Instead of taking her home, they indicate he pulled the car over in a secluded area, jumped in the back seat, and raped the woman, later getting back in the driver's seat, heading to the original destination. Investigators say Aiden pulled that young victim out of the backseat of his car, simply dumping her here in the parking lot. It was actually another Uber driver who witnessed it all. She saw that young woman crying, ran up to help, and called 911 and stayed with the victim until police got here. Today, Franklin County prosecutors searching for him. His last known address, his mother's apartment on the northeast side. Deputies going door to door trying to gather information. This case just the latest in a string of alleged sexual assaults involving Uber drivers. Headlines from across the country pointing out hundreds of cases. On the rideshare company's website, they outline steps the company is taking to address safety, even giving passengers tips. Uber stressing every driver undergoes a rigorous background check. According to Franklin County investigators, all of it not enough to keep the young woman in this case safe. And within the last hour, Uber released a statement to us about this incident, saying in part, what's been alleged is despicable conduct and something no one should ever go through. We stand ready to work with law enforcement to support their investigation. The suspect no longer has access to the Uber app. And tonight, the search continues for that driver, police urging anyone with information to come forward. And Bob, since then, we've heard from a lot of upset customers. We've gotten a number of emails, messages, of course, on the phone, Facebook, and even police reports. You name it, we've gotten it. Story after story of people who say that they have been taken advantage of. And as we try to get this contractor to do right by us customers, we also have some pretty important information tonight for others who may be going through the exact same issues.
I'm heartbroken. I am heartbroken for my parents.
Just last week, 6 on Your Side spoke with Vicki Donaldson.
I never in my wildest dream thought that anybody would do this.
Detailing a nightmare experience with a home contractor. Donaldson's elderly parents paying Daryl Judd of L&D Custom Homes nearly $60,000 on a home project that's nowhere near complete. Judd's company has no website, just his Facebook page. Since our story aired, customers who say they were ripped off by Judd sending us emails, messages on social media, and reports filed with the Knox County Sheriff's Office. Over thousands of dollars paid with not much work done. Even a Knox County mugshot for other legal troubles. Complaints going back years.
He never did come back to do the work.
Mike Ero telling us his elderly mother, now deceased, was scammed out of thousands on an unfinished roofing project.
I'm surprised he's got away with it all these years.
We stopped by Judd's Mount Vernon home to get a few answers face to face. No answer. The stories from those we spoke with certainly not uncommon. Something for you to keep in mind if you run into issues with a contractor. File a complaint with the Ohio Attorney General's office. A specialist could assist in handling the problem. Consider writing a negative review on a consumer website. Sometimes the threat of a bad review might help to resolve the issue. Or contact the Better Business Bureau. The BBB offers free mediation and arbitration services. For Donaldson and the rest, they hope their stories serve as a warning to others. And most of the people who have been in contact with us say they have reached out to the state AG's office looking for an investigation into this contractor. Of course, we'll continue to stay on top of him to complete the work that he's been paid for. Reporting live in studio tonight, Rodney Dunigan, 6 on your side. Hey, how you doing, Bob? You know, this afternoon we spoke with Ben Buchanan. Most folks around town know him as a former Buckeye and also an analyst for the Football Fever. But what you may also not know is that he teaches a class here, a sports ethics class at Ohio State. This afternoon we got his reaction to all of this news, and we dug a bit deeper into this issue. The news of the suspension of OSU star Chase Young making headlines across the country today. The defensive end on a historic run this year. His season now potentially coming to a quick end after admitting to accepting a loan from a family friend. The story not uncommon.
Obviously, they're faced with something very tough now. We're going to see how they're able to respond. This is their star. This is their leader.
Football Fever analyst Ben Buchanan says it's a mistake that could cost the Bucs big on the field.
I mean, right now it looks like it's a one-game suspension. There's a lot of details that are still going to come out with this, and we'll see what happens there.
Ben, a former Buckeye himself, now teaching sports ethics at OSU, explaining the situation, an example of dilemmas top-notch athletes face.
But it is a constant pressure. It's something I know that Coach Day and the compliance officers stress. Tough situation. Hope that they rectify it quickly. As
the investigation continues, Young's college career and the Buckeye season could hang in the balance. And of course, a big question that a lot of fans may have this evening is, will this issue create yet another black eye for OSU on the national front? Of course, we'll look deeper into that issue coming up tonight at 6. For now, reporting live at the Shoot, Rodney Dunigan, ABC 6.